Zero trust is no longer blocking attackers. It's about deciding how business can move faster without exposing everything. Your biggest zero trust problem may not be security technology, it may be the business architecture still assuming trust is by default. By the end of this conversation, leaders will be able to identify where zero trust creates business value, chooses the right architecture, and move and avoid trying tuning a strategic transformation into security tool project. Across India, enterprises cyber resilience is increasing a C-suite responsibility with zero trust becoming the key investment area as organizations re-architect systems to secure business operations with less friction. The zero trust conversation has expanded beyond users, devices, including AI access, agent identities, sensitive AI data, and responsible AI governance, making architecture choices more urgent. What matters now is NIST and CISA position zero trust architecture model around continuous verification and controlled access rather than traditional network trust. Microsoft currently adopting guidance also frames as a business aligned architecture that supports organization outcomes, not merely a security deployment. Let's move in from security controls to business architecture and decode where trust should never be assumed. Before we dive into the topic, let's have a small video about Power of Knowing Forum. Welcome to Preminent Conclave, the weekly podcast series by Power of Knowing Forum, where insights become strategic advantage. Anand, let's welcome Anand, where organizations often begin zero trust as a CISO led program. Why leaders now treat it as a business architecture is what we will dive in, bringing in Anand to have join us the podcast and dive into the session. Anand, hi, welcome to our podcast. Anand, how are you today?
Hello, Prem. I'm good. How are you?
Good, Anand. Anand, a
Yeah.
small intro about yourself before we dive into the topic, Anand.
Yes. So myself, Anand, and I have 11 years of experience in the cybersecurity domain. If you see in cybersecurity in the 11 years, I have been worked on the network security, application security, and GRC, little bit on GRC, and worked on top of the most tier 1 organizations where I used to build the secure architecture for the organization by assessing the risk, what is the business need, what they need, and I will properly give the blueprint for them, what controls they require, what kind of teams required, and what kind of tools would be the fit for the organization. Those kind of recommend. I used to be a architect consultant, and I'm the person who used to deploy the same product for this organization, and I used to be a operational person who used to develop the same options. Deploying the tool is fine. After the tool deployed, well, you have to maintain the tools for that you need a team. So I used to structure the operation team and maintain the team. And I am also cross functioning with the GRC DevOps teams to enhance the productivity in terms of security. This is my little bit overview. Yes, Prem, over to you.
Thank you, Anand. Let's dive into the topic.
Mm-hmm.
Often,
Mm-hmm.
Begin with zero trust as a CSO led program. Why must leaders now treat it as a business architecture decision?
So what happened earlier? What happened is when CISO says we needed just firewalls and antivirus control just to defend the viruses. Right now, viruses is not your first priority. Your insiders and external threat actors are the first priority. Even though your earlier you have to defend perimeter, you have to only work on the your perimeter, basically firewalls, WAF. Right now you have to bring the security when user started typing from the laptop, whether the data what he typing it's going where it's going. Okay, whether it's going to the right storage, or it's going to the their personal storage, or insiders taking your business data and selling to the outside, or anyone is unauthorized person who roaming around your network. So lot of this attack surface has been totally increased. Okay, respect to business what you're doing here, even though currently you're not doing business alone, you have to work with your partners, third party vendors, contractors. Okay, so what about multiple factors joining in your organization, where you need 1,000 eyes to view that security risk and sorry, risk frameworks. Okay, attack surface basically. Okay, so right now it's a business need. Okay, in case one data is moving to the wrong hand, your competitor will win, you will lose profits. Okay, so how going to safeguard your profit? That is how the zero trust going to tell you. This is what why we need. You need to see the zero trust as a business value, not as a tool.
Very important point, I think, Anand, is what you are saying is you should not look at a tool. You should look at how we secure, whether it is with a tool or without a tool, is what you are saying. And when we look at bringing this program not as a so what we are trying to say is we are trying to say that it is the organization's responsibility to secure. It is not the security team alone's work to secure the organization. Entire organization, entire staff is what is to be looking at security as a first point to secure data,
Mhm.
secure people's trust, secure customers' trust, secure our brand before we get into any trouble. So it is a whole organizational responsibility. Everybody in the organization is responsible for cybersecurity. Why has zero trust moved from a CISO's initiative to a business architecture decision?
Yes, as I told earlier, your attack surface increased. Okay, CISO only going to bring the just a framework what to do, what we
Yeah,
need. But while while matching that with your business portfolio, that you have lot of entry point and exit points, and lot of blind spots. Okay, entry points nothing but how the attackers can come in, whether through your unauthorized API, whether it's through the your physical entrance. Most probably, if you don't have any physical control, attackers easily come and install the any devices, monitoring devices in your organization. Okay, exit points, data exfiltrations, whether data exfiltrations can happen through various tools through the internet. Okay, uh, sorry so right now architecture need in your organization to map to find the your entry and exit points, how your business running, whatever the path your data is flowing. So the architect has to tell you this is a very risky team or risky entry point, there we need to put gateway. So you need to put 100% security on all the departments. Okay, who is your customer facing department? There we need to put the extra security. Where in-house IT team, there we can put less security. Okay, so this architect tell you that this department and this application is more critical, where we need to spend more time on security and we have to put more controls. So more than CISO, architect will go around the organization and bring you that uh, proper risk assessment and give that attack surface values.
got it.
Yeah.
Now, what changed in the business operations, whether it is cloud, whether it is SaaS, remote work, APIs, partners, AI that made perimeter based thinking inadequate.
Mm, actually, whatever the factors you told, everything will applicable here. First thing is SaaS. Okay, so early days you need to install the application in your PC. So I know my user only using 2 to 3 applications install. Right now, SaaS. If you take in more into that, you're allowing your user to allow access the Google Drive. So you mean say I'm using Google Drive for my company purpose, but same thing user can access his own Google Drive and upload the data, upload company data to the his personal drive. He can exfiltrate easily. Okay, when talking about A, again A. So whenever so A, what happening it is that A company is using your own data to train their model continuously. So that is also one kind of exfiltration. So two things, SaaS and AI is more critical right now. So where the we need to shift our focus onto it. More top of that, this is third party risk management. So if you see the every big breaches all over the world, is it happening through your third party? If you take Uber, Uber it's happened 2025, I think. That's also through the third party laptop. Disney data breach, it's happened through the third party laptop where we didn't assess the third party environment. So the attacker intrude Disney through the third party asset. So we have to focus on SaaS, AI, and third party. On top of this is the answer for your question. That we need to focus on these three things.
Which business leaders
Hmm.
now need to go on zero trust?
Every-
CIO, CTO, CTO, COO, CHRO, CFO, product leaders, or business unit heads.
actually, everyone. Okay,
Everyone.
except CEO. He has to more focus on business more than security first.
No, I think what we are seeing here with your this question, what we are seeing is now what we are also saying is it is not that zero trust is going to be the pointer that we are talking only is zero trust. We don't trust anybody, right? So at this moment, you want access, I don't trust you. You follow the regular process, right? How you are getting authenticated, you need the MFA, you need what time till what time, just in time access also is one way of looking at zero trust, right? So what we are also saying is CIOs, CTOs, CFOs. Now, if a CIO says zero trust is required and the technology leader says it's an expense, both CIO and CTO become responsible. Now, if there is a breach that is happening and we don't have a control, the CFO will get intimated on the fines that will come, which will be not budgeted. So I think it's a cycle. Now, product leaders ignoring and giving access to everybody, then the product will not be tested under secure conditions, right? Or tested with the right secure controls that are required. So I think everybody, as you rightly said, you said it in single word, but I wanted to expand it to a stage where everybody are responsible. When you look at CIO gets the tool, as you rightly said, CTO evaluates and CIO also evaluates, the team implements, but after that the team owns the tool, right? And they have to manage. If there's an issue that the tool gets in, the CFO and CTO are already again coming into the picture where they saw this tool, how they brought it, what was the evaluation that they were doing, evaluation that was done, and so and so forth. So am I right in saying that
Yeah. So while answering your question, there's a lot of things is coming to the place. How to make other CXO believe zero trust needed? How we going to justify the budget? How we going to justify the budget against our revenue?
okay?
So a lot of things are here. So while coming talking about this point, so first thing is respect to Indian mentality. First breach will happen, then we have to bring the solution in Indian mentality. Okay. So there
No,
is a
I
right.
think that shift is changed off late is what I see.
Uh,
Anand, see, gone are those days where only the security teams used to own that as a security parameter. Anything goes down, security was tightened, not tightened, tools were not there, and stuff like that. Now, if you really look at it, is tied out to many things, right? As you rightly said, it is tied to the costs, the kind of fines that may come in, where CFOs have to budget those kind of fines when a tool is purchased. And now the rules and pointers that are there, like your NIST or your
ISO,
ISO, then you have
SOC
your
part.
DPDP coming in,
Yes.
GDPR coming in, right? And uh, NIST RMF coming in, 2.0 coming in. So these are all pointers where everybody wants to take data. Now, with regionalizing data, also, people are very skeptical. With as we spoke, DPDP, GDPR, CCPA, Brazil government stuff, right? Japan has some laws. Now, Singapore also has some laws in terms of controlling data. Now, everything is tied up to a value.
Correct.
Either you will pay hefty fines, your brand value is hit. If you
Yes.
are not controlling the right, you don't have the right controls, then the control mechanism, you lose trust, right? So that is the major point what I wanted to say. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Uh, so that's also that whatever the frameworks you told, so those are fuel for the zero trust.
Yeah.
Okay, once you implement a zero trust, we need a fuel to run it. Okay, so what happened? Respective business compliances, every quarter auditor will come and ask what you're doing, what are happening. Okay, so while working with Singapore, yes, Singapore government has some regulations. If you're not following the Singapore regulations, you will be get banned and will get the bills. Same like that in UK. Same like that in India also we have certain. Certain is now tightened and closely monitoring everywhere. I also saw a couple of my friends' company sites getting banned from certain because of they not properly follow the audit. So certain
Mm.
also food. So actually we need to bring up fear to the leaders. Okay, so respect to zero trust.
I think fear is one point where you should look at. I don't say it is fear. It
Uh-huh.
is a compliance adherence when you don't maintain what could be the implications, is what I would say. To
Yeah.
rephrase the word of fear, because when you say fear, it goes into different directions. So just wanted to add there. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this right term for here is assume breach. Okay,
Assume based. Yeah.
assume breach. So zero trust is running on top of assume breach. So my CFO will ask, hey, there's no risk I didn't find. So I had to give the proper threat modeling of the organization.
Yeah.
So we have to do the proper threat modeling of applications, third party, and our entry and exit points. And we have to submit the what are the breaches we should assume, what are the problems we have before bringing the tools in. Okay, first I will show the only risk. See here, we have a third party we are integrating, but we don't know that third party is trustable or not. I will put
Mm.
some justification on top of it. What are the third party breaches happening in previously respective my same business? If I am in the payment gateway, the same payment gateway got affected because of third party. I had to put the risk in the paper. So usually I take some time to assess the threat modeling, and each and every business owners I will show what are risk on your business, on your cross functioning. So those threat modeling is the first layer of zero trust. While assume so threat model nothing but we are assuming breach. How you assume breach? You have to do threat model. From threat model you need to list the risk. From the risk you need to prioritize your risk. Okay. Since within one day I cannot implement zero trust. So I
Yeah.
need to prioritize my risk from the threat model. I have to submit to my all the CXO round table. Hey, this is my the risk. So this could be possible. These are things happened previously in the industry. So like that, I will go to the my CXOs and I will pull the budget for my zero trust. Yeah,
I think what we are saying is we need to clearly articulate the business why zero trust is required. The first point that you said. Keep it very simple, right? Zero trust is not trust anybody. That's you don't trust anybody. Trust nobody is what we are saying, right? It means verify important access before allowing. So you will have to look at whom am I giving access. Is that access required for how long? And what is the implications if I don't revoke that access? Those are
Mm,
the things that we should look at. And an employee inside the office network could also access many other systems, because the access to one door is open to many doors also, right? Now that is the today the same employee may work from home also, right? Because of what we see is work from home, use SaaS tools, access cloud data, collaborate with external partners, because I can share my screen and show while I'm at home. Still,
mhm.
this kind of parent business needs to decide whether access is allowed, from which device, for how long, and under what conditions. This is the
Okay.
point that we want to look at. And when we say identity, we should look at point of where who's the identity device health. Now many of the devices, as you said, if I bring a device which is not patched or not updated with the latest security patch, you are in a position to get it into a problem. Do I need to have that device audited, right? Sensitive data, access context, that is where the zero trust model comes into play, is what I understand. And today what we are saying is Indian enterprises are accelerating completely onto cloud. If you really look at, we have adopted cloud to a larger, if you look at our digital payments are still this one on cloud now, outsourced to many other ecosystems led operations, right? That is what we also have. We have increasing decisions affecting business continuity, because we can take that Indigo issue, right? There was one patch or something that happened, and the whole airline industry was affected. So those are pointers, I think, very very important when you look at zero trust, right?
Right.
So coming to our point, what we want to emphasize is zero trust is a business design, not just a security design, right? So that is what we want to say. Now coming to our next point,
Mhm.
where should an organization start when building zero trust from scratch?
So we need to split it two ways. One is from employee endpoint, starting point, and your perimeter entry point. When you are a application provider, it start from your perimeter. Okay. As you told previously, is that never always verify, never trust. Okay. So while there is asset, okay, first you need to verify the asset is company owned asset or your third party asset, personal asset. Okay, from where the application has been accessed. So let me shift my speak to the architect point of view. Okay, so this always verify. You means people will think that only I need to put password in MFA. Okay, so we are not verifying only password in MFA when coming to always verify. First, on authentication, user just open the page. Before opening the page, first we will verify the request is coming from the BAO device, bring your own device, or company organization device, or from the personal device. First check will be happen. Okay, first I will check. Okay, this request coming from the company owned device. Then my next thing is whether their device is properly compliant. Okay, so the device has a matching my CSS benchmark. Okay, CSS benchmark is mostly, sorry, is a right word here, because it's going to tell you that how much secure you are. CSS benchmark. Okay, okay, my compliance is perfect. Next, I have to verify there is any vulnerability persist in the user device, or it's running on the old OS or not. That check will happen. Again, there is a antivirus running or not. So earlier days people used to check only antivirus running or not, but these days antivirus running or not, all the services working perfectly, whether it's reporting to the cloud or not, everything will check. So these are the factors we'll check before we prompting to you the login page when you're accessing the company secure portals. Then only we'll access the put the password. Again MFA will be prompted. Okay. So that not only the password, the MFA, before the MFA, we used to do check this many factors first. Again, we put geofence. Okay, geofence in the application mode. Whether your user may be here or your laptop would be theft, and it's could be shifted to the some other countries. From there, they're accessing it. That also we need to check. Also, we will check the MFA point of view also, whether this login is from the prompted through the proper device. Since your MFA is right now not only OTP, we used to get the prompts. Okay, so we used to verify that prompts going to the right device. Okay, those factors we'll check. Also, we'll verify the even those company owned device. We'll verify this device is already used device or is a fresh device. Okay, if it's a fresh device, we used to put additional factors. Or the, with OTP, you have to put you have to give the push notification. So we adding one more layer of security when we considering the such a fresh device. So those are the factors will happen. Again, you're working in an environment. Okay, you are a critical person. If you're working in an environment, it's a production environment. So your laptop automatically connect to the Wi-Fi, production Wi-Fi. Okay, if you're bringing personal laptop cannot be accessed your production environment. Also, your device fully know where to work, where should not work. Okay, if you trying to connect with your untrusted network, device automatically shut down your private access to the protection. So those kind of mechanism we are placing in the endpoint level. Okay, so since if you are talking about endpoint level, we can talk lot in the endpoint level. Okay, then you're shifting to the perimeter level. If you talk about perimeter level, basically people say only WAF. Right now, WAF is a useless product. If you're running only WAF, it's not going to bring you the value. So along with the WAF, you have to run the runtime security, and API should not be protected by the WAF. So is anyone watching this podcast and you're planning to bring a WAF for your API servers, that's not a solution. You have to use API gateway additionally to protect your API, because API behavior is different, application behavior is different. Okay. Again, so I put WAF, API security, runtime application, and container security will come. Then CI/CD security will come. Then if you merge everything, it's called DevSecOps. End of the day. On top of that, process discipline. Okay, your security will maintained by your ITSM process or the Jira process basically. Okay, if you well define the process, you have ITSM managers properly, these access approvals properly maintained, and you are good enough. You can maintain anything with the basic security. Okay, this process discipline is I always recommend everyone to keep your process discipline. That will help you to secure environment. Yeah, I hope I answered the little bit.
Yeah, right. So what very clearly and very you'll have to have a WAF gateway that is there. You cannot have just the APIs coming in. That's the pointer I'm trying to get in.
Mhm.
Should the first move be identity, privilege access, endpoint security, protection, cloud workloads, or network segmentation? Which one should be the first move?
It's difficult. It's respect to your organization what you have already.
Okay,
Okay. So if you nothing having right now, so you should start from the authentication.
okay,
Okay. Most probably, as I told, we need to do thread modeling first. So
mm,
in the first thread modeling, which is showing is more critical, we have to start from that. Okay. So there is a seven pillars. Hopefully, is told respect to
yeah,
zero trust. So we have to start everything from the at a time. Ba- if don't have anything, first you start from EDR and your web gateway.
okay,
First, from the user laptop, you should install EDR, web gateway, basically network security. I just pointing out. Once network security is well defined, then you need to move to the identity. Because why I'm bringing identity next? Identity is a complex program to implement because I'm doing implementations everywhere, right?
okay,
So identity is a very complex factor. So before we need to pass the very easy gateway, which gateway we can close easily, which is the easy gateway to and hackers can enter easily. That's why I'm pointing to network and your area. While talking about the cloud side, first you need a CSPM first. Okay, if you CSPM, if you have in the cloud, it will start giving the reports respective activities. From there, you can understand. First, you need to understand your environment.
Yeah.
Okay, so first we need network security, then you can move to IAM as a second priority. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Got it. How do we identify the crown jewels that need zero trust protection first?
so crown gels, nothing but it's about the department which is giving you the more revenue. Okay, who closely working with more revenue, and who closely working with sensitive data, who closely working with your customer facing.
Mm,
Okay, the three point of view. Okay, people, why? First, let me take customer point of view. Since I am a customer support agent, my customers are sending the email. Hey, I am unable to let's say my laptop has broken. Okay, I
mm,
am attached a screenshot, please click the link below to view the screenshot. What will happen, that
okay.
this link, once the customer agent click the link, it's automatically spread the viruses everywhere. Okay,
Mm,
so they are most crucial. Okay, again, who's working with revenue finance team? Okay,
mm,
finance team, because they used to work with that banking related logins, documents. In case anything, any virus attacked those machines, so we used to lose our finance related items, revenue loss would happen.
mm,
Okay. And that people who closely working with the data,
okay.
legal point of view, data engineering team. Okay, those data, and on top of that, we need to put a big gateway for all our CXOs. Okay, they are the first point of attack, have high priority attack value when the attacker point of view, because CXOs always has all the accesses. So CXOs, your customer facing, your finance, and your data, who working on data. From there, those teams where you need to put higher security, where you need to
Mm,
spend higher, because once the attacks happen, your revenue automatically will reduce. Anyone here. Yeah. I'll just put one more point that you may say, hey, respect to zero trust, I have to spend the crores to
mm,
protect my environment. Not like that. First, you need to take your revenue. You have to check how much your revenue getting, how much you can spend, how much you can spend to safeguard that revenue.
yeah.
Okay, if it is getting 100 crores revenue, from the 100 crores revenue, how much money you need to save that 100 crores revenue? That is the main point of view. That is the actual answer for this question, if I'm not wrong.
I think what you are saying on a pointer is crown jewels is an organization's most critical value digital assets, right? It can be people, it can be user authentication, intellectual property, sensitive data, operational infrastructure, right? Your ICS, your SCADA systems, your core network and servers, right? Access credentials. That's the crown jewels, and these crown jewels are anyway managed by the top leading people only, right? So your systems, that we are in turn coming in back into saying that a company has 200 applications, but only five handle payroll. That could payroll again. You brought finance there, right? Customer data, payments, intellectual property. Now you will have to map everything. Start mapping with those five systems. What data contains, what happens if the access is compromised. Start simple sequences, right? Identify. Now you made a very important point also, where we said is you have to bring the critical assets, right? Where you have
Yeah. So we have to do
fixed
that.
identity, privilege access, check device health. We spoke about device health, right? You cannot bring some laptop and just plug into the environment. That has to do. And also look at least privilege rules. What would monitor expectations? As you said, NIST implementation guidance demonstrates multiple end-to-end right approaches and implementation patterns. I think that's the point. And
Yeah.
also look at having the vendors integrated with zero trust architecture, and that is more important is what I feel, right?
Yeah.
And coming to the next point that I want to ask for you is, how can zero trust improve growth, customer trust, and operational speed, not only reducing risks.
So, let's assume that there is a data breach.
Mm,
Okay, data breach happened. So we don't know where is data breach happened. Your security department, the finance department, IT, everyone spending lot of time,
mm,
more than a week, working on it. So assume you are in UK or US, Singapore. So once data breach happen, you need to report.
mm.
In case you are an IPO, okay,
Okay.
you have to report immediately. So you need to spend lot of money on top of that. You need to pull external vendors, external to verify. So what happened typically? You are losing your time.
Okay.
Basically losing your time and your uh, employees' time as well. Everyone time is wasting. Okay. So while bringing the zero trust along with the continuous monitoring, continuous security, that is going to safeguard your time by safeguarding you from the most of the attacks.
Thanks.
So ultimately, what happened? Your time to work on your business getting increased. Your time is not getting wasted, and your revenue could be increased. I'm not telling you it will increase, possibly increase because you get,
Possibly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, am I right? Any
Yeah. Right. Right. How how does this identity and access design reduce friction from employees, customers, and partners? Because when you have this access side, right, design, you are saying zero trust for at one side. You're talking of MFA again. Then you have uh, it
device
is
side?
tied to your mobile, right? Again, getting an OTP from your mobile, authenticating it. How do these people, where we can reduce the friction? What is your thought around
Actually, respect to zero trust, we cannot reduce the friction. It will increase the friction only.
it?
When even you know you're talking about identity, it's a more complex part
Okay.
uh, because it's where we are working on top of that. Okay, so the identity, vendor identity is different, my customer identity different, my employee
Mm,
identity flow is different. Each and every time something happen, it's ultimately increasing my operational load of my IAM engineers.
okay.
Like IAM and IT engineers. Every time will come, hey, it's not happening, it's not happening. Then, as I told earlier, we have some security checks before we prompting you the password, whether it will check EDS running properly or not, vulnerability check, you're running on old OS or you're running on old vulnerable applications. Okay, maybe the device is not properly configured. Okay, properly not registered into the organization catalog. So those factors are there. Because of that, the authentication friction increase in zero trust. We are not going to reduce. Even though a lot of things are passwordless authentication, it's on top of this. But because of the operational workload, it's the friction getting increased in respect to the IAM, respect to zero trust. Okay. Uh, but we're talking that we need to put a lot of gateways, as I told.
Mm,
Respect to vendor, I have to put 5 factors basically to verify he's a right vendor, right authentication, he's in right location, he's coming from the right IP address, and or back whether he has a right role. He has only read only access or R only access. Again, identity access security, IASM, I think that's called. We that usually that's the IGM, I think, identity governance. So identity governance will
identity
be
governance.
whether it's using right role or not. Again, that load go to the SOC. SOC load will get increased.
Now I
Okay.
get your point. What we are saying is giving, instead of giving the vendor the board access for next 6 months, provide limited and limited access where he requires for that application or that data, right? This reduces the risk and can speed up the vendor's work. That is the point that we should look at.
Yeah.
From faster approvals for fewer account related incidents, reducing the downtime also will be controlled, right? And better to audit. That's the very important point, right? And when you get minimum access given or the required access given, it lowers our rework also and stronger customer confidence, right? Now, Microsoft says adoption of guidelines links to zero trust to build business outcomes, while its resilience guidance notes it reduces breach damage and supports cyber resilient economics. So now, if you really look at, it is bringing the guideline to use the zero trust in a structured manner as a design is what we are talking about. Zero trust only by blocking logins you can measure the security business enablement, right? So which login is required, what is that is not required, how many days this access is there. That kind of a review only will give you a lot of evidence for us to look at zero trust there, right? Now securing access can accelerate growth when business actually removes friction, right?
Yeah.
So, how should leaders handle zero trust in an AI, SaaS, multi cloud, and a vendor driven world? Today,
It's not,
we cannot do anything without an AI vendor or a SaaS vendor, right? So, how
yeah.
do we look at this?
So I don't know where to start to the question. Question would be simple, but answer is very huge. Okay. Uh, so it's not where to start, how to provide. Okay. Mostly how to provide the secure access to them. Okay. So we need to bring lot of teams here. With the tools, we cannot do anything with respect to zero trust, respect to answers. Where you need to bring GRC team, data privacy team, data security team. Okay. Then you should need a legal team. Should they should give some hands from the legal side also. Okay. And so what happening it is your GRC, data privacy, data security team will do the TPRM process, third party risk assessment. Okay. So just ignore the SaaS, cloud, anything. Okay. They do the TPRM process when will onboarding those cloud tools here, onboarding the SaaS tools. They will first measure whether this tool is properly secured, the team is third party team is properly doing the security work or not. Okay. Then our internal pen testers will do the PT on the tool. So right now talking about SaaS, it's not only tool. If you say respect to quick commerce, we have multiple quick commerce in the environment, like say Zepto, Swiggy, like that. If you wanted to buy one tool, there's lot of vendors available in the industry for the to sell the single objective. Okay, so we have to do this TPM risk assessment. We have to do the pen testing on top of the tool. We have to review their ISO certificates and SOC 2 compliances in case they going to host my data. Okay, yeah, those things. My data privacy team, GS team, data security team, and legal team will verify this process before I'm onboarding those tools into my organization, and I'm provisioning my data to them.
Yeah,
Okay. This little minor layer. Now, most of the time, I see that most of the companies don't do this one. This is a more vulnerable point. Respect talking about zero trust. I hope I answered well.
yeah. What new risks emerge when AI agents, SaaS apps, APIs, and third party developers and the workloads access the business data?
So you're talking about the AI point of view. What are the AI
Yeah,
risks?
yes.
And when talking about AI, it's not AI. There's AI itself, lot of family members. Okay, Gen AI and AI automation, MCPs. Okay,
Mm,
their APIs. Okay, then free tier,
yeah,
yeah, MDA. Okay, so you can use free AI application and company owned application. Okay, so what happening is employees started using AI. So my CEOs told that I have to use uh, explore all the AI tools. So employees started using all the free AI application and sending the data to outside the tool, outside organization through that application. Data is going out. Maybe it's critical data, business data, your future plans.
yeah,
Okay, where we don't have any NDA.
mm,
You cannot go on the legal side.
yeah,
Okay, so that's NDA is one of the things when AI coming to the organization. So while starting AI tools, you should have a mutual NDA agreements. You should mutual sign with your vendor. Should not use my data to train.
yeah,
Okay, first thing. Okay, uh, shall I go proceed?
yeah, yeah, quite, quite.
Next thing is MCP.
Mm,
Right now, MCP is your new gateway for your insiders. Even though blocking a lot of stuff, your insider will come here, open the AI, connect that to your Atlassian MCP. and extract all the data outside. So there is
Mm.
no control mechanism in the enterprise level as of now respect to the MCP. So even
Okay.
you have enterprise level, there's no mechanism to control the MCPs, whether which MCP to connect, how MCP will authenticate. Will
Mm.
MCP authenticate? How my identity will identify this is a AI or a human?
Yeah.
Because this guy he is a DB admin. DB admin use his own DB credential to authenticate the MCP.
Right.
Okay, so MCP. Then shadow AI part.
Yeah.
Shadow
Shadow.
AI. Yeah. So what happened? There's a as I told, we don't know that how many AI applications in the world. Maybe there is DeepSeek. We may be working with the government project, but you employ using DeepSeek and send the data to the Chinese. Okay, that would be defense project most probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now even organization don't have the measure the AI, what AI they using. Then most critical part is prompts.
Mm.
Okay. So employee say, hey, this is my what happening is I found that one employee is doing is he giving his credentials of production to the AI agent to troubleshoot the server. Okay.
Yeah.
So people know want to use AI, but they don't know how to use. So you need to start from the your AI usage policy. You have to implement AI usage policies, and you have to bring the mechanism to how to differentiate AI authentication and human authentication, and you need to control your AI, and you have to verify your prompts. Right now, you're not going to verify the logs. SOC analysts have to improve the quality to how to analyze the prompts. So that also enterprise need right now.
I think what you are saying is practically ask every vendor what data will you access, right? So that's the first question I think that you are saying.
Mm.
And important, when you give access to the data, you're asking where it will be stored, how is it administered, right? And can we export the logs? That's the another point that you should look at. Can we integrate it to our identity platform? Because when you take a vendor, we don't know how strong is their identity platform, right? We need to look at the third, as you rightly said, third party vendor assessment is to be looking at what happens if we leave, who will own the data, how is the data getting transferred. As you rightly said, a Gen AI tool may help teams write faster, but if the employees uploads contracts or internal designs without controls, I think I was seeing something today somewhere where there was a data leak which happened through an iPhone. They were able to access some of the critical design forms of some organization, and that got exposed just about, I was reading about half an hour before when I got into this, but
Yeah.
where we see a vendor is trying to access certain systems, which I think more is to look at how the access is given, where it is stored, and how it is getting. Now, currently, zero trust guidance is expanding to cover AI identities, AI data, AI data protection, and AI monitoring also. Again,
Yes.
bringing AI governance also, right? So that's that's
Right.
that's where we look at bringing the, where we don't just need to buy a tool to say it is zero trust. Choose interoperable capabilities that fit into your architecture and look at the risk priorities,
Yeah.
right? So
As we
that's
fix it
that's what,
with this.
right. So it fits to your this one.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think that's the point that we should look at.
Correct.
Every AI agent and the vendor connection is an architecture decision, because you bring people to different
Yeah.
architectures that are to be enabled to the architecture that you have built, right? So it is a integration that has to be looked at, right? Now, last question for the day before we take some pointers. What should be a board approved zero trust roadmap look for the next 12 to 24 months?
So you mean to say that when say CISO is onboarded, what he need to do? Am I right?
uh, Not the CISO side, when the organization is looking at the board level, what
Both.
should be the roadmap for zero trust, for
So
if it has to
first
be
thing is
started from scratch?
first thing is you should not call your vendors. Okay, hey, my person is selling this color. Let me call the my person directly for zero trust.
Okay. Okay.
Should not include any vendors first. First thing is you should check you have a right team with you.
Mm,
Okay, okay. Because first you want to do the zero trust. The engineer or architect should know the what is zero trust. First, you need to hire right person. Once
mm,
person is hired, you don't need to buy a hire an entire team. First, hire a person
yeah.
who knows the zero trust, who experience it. First, spend little more. The person once comes in, the person will going to do the threat modeling respective business. He going to find the risks. What
Mm,
risk associate with your business third party respect to zero trust, and he'll populate the controls respect to the pillars:
mm,
network, device, identity, SIM, okay, AI. So everywhere he bring the uh, risk.
mm.
From the risk, he will bring the risk prioritization. Okay,
Okay.
you are in the payment gateway side, so you need to look closely on your payment server security where I see that the risk is very high. Okay, then I put what are the risks next. Then the engineer has to populate the risk with the tools. What kind of tools I need to bring into the place to secure it? Okay, so we put the tools. Once the tool is prioritized, okay, so right now we have a tool in place, but we know don't have any SME
Mm,
to manage it. Okay, then you call your vendor, call for the vendors for the papers. Then you need to do the paper assessment, which tool is suitable for your business, which is satisfying your what are see well taking the tool is not a tool. The tool has lot of features. The features support your business applications. Okay, you're buying a WAF, some but the WAF only have basic control, but you want to put the bot production. The WAF doesn't have bot production. What you'll do, again you need to buy an additional product. Okay, so those kind of features what you need respect to the tool, what you respect to risk. Once you populate it, do the POC, find the right tool,
yeah.
then start implementation. Parallelly, you should hire a SME and form an operation team.
Mm,
Okay. So likewise, this is just a single point how you can bring your roadmap. But doing this risk assessment itself will take a 6 month for
mm.
a medium level company in India if you do properly. Okay.
I think what you are saying is start with the data that you want to test or use the data which is not production data, right? So test the data, do
Yeah, yeah.
POCs, right? POCs
Yeah.
is what you're saying. Don't
You
feed everything is what you're saying, right? Use what we want to also look at is can we have an access that can be traced and reviewed. That's the first point.
yeah.
Can a compromised device moved laterally into a critical system? Is that we are looking at? How do we monitor? These are some of the pointers that I think you should look at.
Yeah.
Boards in India need a clear investment to be resilient narrative, right? And particularly across regulated digital connected devices. So this is where we are struck at the moment is what I think. And as you write, TPM is very, very important where you need to look at third party vendor assessment, right? And that with that, I would like to get two pointers I got from the questions in the chat. I'll bring it up here. Are you
Uh,
able to see that? What is your
Same.
organization's biggest trust gap today?
So could you please rephrase your question? I think you just phrased for a moment.
What is your organization's biggest zero trust gap today?
User centric security. So you need to teach security to each and every employees in the organization. So not only security, moving forward, each and everyone is a security. So don't keep the security within the tool. Bring everyone as a security engineer. Teach them security. Teach them security awareness. What to do in the doing the security attacks. So that is a biggest security gaps in the organization level. So we should make every employee think like they are security engineers. That's called user centric security.
Okay. there's another question which is come is who owns zero trust outcomes in the organization?
It's a credit.
Sorry,
No, no. Who own the zero outcome? Outcome in the
outcomes.
sense is a credit.
Okay,
It's again. It says outcome nothing but it's again on top of organization only the profit revenue.
okay,
The
got it,
revenue. So you need to justify your revenue basically.
got it. So
So
I with this I think we are on
one second, let
top
me
of
put one more.
the. Sorry.
Let me put one more point on top of the question. So
Okay.
outcome nothing but ROI, return of income. E- respect to security cannot measure. You can measure the ROI. There is a frameworks available in the internet. So you need to put the framework, how much tools you spend, what
Mm,
how much this tool safeguard your revenue. That
mm,
ROI you need to populate. Then you can get the answers for your questions.
okay. So what I think what this is, it is not only this is so it is everybody, right, in the organization. Once the outcomes are there, it benefits the organization is what my pointer is. When you have zero trust, the outcomes are faster security access that is there, protected users, brand value, right? That is again revenue when you look at in a not
Yes.
in the cash per se, but you look at a revenue at a brand value, valuation of the organization. And with zero trust
Right.
implemented, you don't trust anybody, which is a security for us to protect the organization. I think that's the pointer that I would like to take from this question or with this question. Now I have few pointers that I've
Yeah.
taken as
Right. You're right.
takeaways. I'm just going to read out those takeaways that I've noted. Give me a second, please.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, zero trust is a business architecture discipline because it talks about identity, data, devices, workloads, vendors, AI agent now directly affect the revenue, customers' trust, and operational continuity. That's the first point. Now, the second point what we can look at is start with the business crown jewels, which we spoke about is critical applications, sensitive data, privileged access, and high impact workloads. Measure zero trust through outcomes, fast, faster, safe access, right? That's what we said. When you have the outcomes, when you look at outcomes, is you have fast, safe access rather than having a unsecured access given, right? Fewer risky privileges, where we are looking at just in time as an example. You give this access for this application for this period, right? Beyond that, you are not going to take a bigger risk there. Quicker containment, better audit evidence, and stronger resilience is what I see as the next point. Treat AI agents, SaaS tools, APIs, vendors as the new access paths that require an identity to be given. Because today, even the AI agent is having an access tied to an identity. You cannot just have an AI agent deployed without having an access given or the identity given to it, right? If it is a chatbot, it is going to be part of the customer support side where they talk about chatbots, right? So I think that's the point that we are looking at. The best roadmap is protect what matters first, right? Prove value, then scale architecture as you mature. That's the point that I would like to take. And Anand, thank you for being here and making zero trust practical, right? The key measure today is clear. Zero trust is not about adding friction, which we spoke. It has to reduce friction. That's what we said. It's about designing trust deliberately so that business can move faster and with fewer blind spots. That's the pointers
Yes,
that I
you're right.
listed out. And any final pointers that you would like to make before we conclude?
Yeah. Since what we talked, it's very less zero trust. If you talk about start to talk about zero trust, is a very vast topic. We can talk anytime.
Okay.
Yeah, all good. Thanks, Vim. Thanks for the opportunity.
With this, I think we would like to thank the audience and thank you, Anand, for being part of the session today. And we would like to conclude the session for today. Thank you.